All right, let's embark on a deep dive today into something that's becoming increasingly critical for anyone navigating the complex world of modern technology: AI governance.
Hmm.
We're going to pull insights directly from Chapter 1, Part B of the AAISM Official Review Manual, which offers a really insightful perspective on the strategic side of integrating AI into an organization.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
Think of this as your essential roadmap, sort of, to understanding how to manage AI effectively and responsibly.
Indeed. Our mission really is to demystify what the manual calls AI-related strategies, policies, and procedures.
Okay.
Consider us your guides through the foundational elements organizations must consider, not just to deploy AI, but to do so with foresight, integrity, and genuine effectiveness.
Right.
We'll explore each topic in sequence, building a comprehensive picture for you, piece by piece.
So why does this matter to you, our listener? Whether you're gearing up for an important meeting about AI, trying to catch up on this rapidly evolving field, or maybe just genuinely curious about how AI is managed beyond the technical algorithms.
Hmm.
This deep dive is designed to give you those aha moments. Our goal is to provide a clear, concise shortcut to being well-informed without overwhelming you with jargon.
Absolutely.
We're going to start with a big picture: AI strategies.
Good place to start.
When we talk about AI strategies, it often sounds quite grand, perhaps even a bit abstract.
It can, yeah.
But at its heart, it's about an organization's deliberate plan for how it will leverage AI. Our source material opens with a really compelling vision from the EU,
Right, the EU vision.
fostering excellence in AI to strengthen Europe's potential to compete globally. That gives us a sense of the sheer scale and ambition involved, doesn't it?
It really does. And what's truly insightful here is how the EU's expansive vision for AI, as outlined in our source, it sort of serves as a universal blueprint.
A blueprint, okay.
Yeah, it mirrors precisely what any organization, regardless of its size or sector, should be thinking about when it crafts its AI strategy. The manual actually distills this vision into 4 interconnected objectives. It's a really robust framework for integrating AI both responsibly and effectively.
4 objectives. Let's break those down.
Okay, so the first objective is about enabling the development and uptake of AI in the EU.
Uptake, so not just building it, but using it.
Exactly. This isn't just about constructing AI models in, isolation. It's fundamentally about cultivating an entire ecosystem where AI solutions can be readily innovated, adopted, and seamlessly woven into diverse sectors and our daily lives.
Right, the whole environment.
For an organization, this means actively fostering internal R&D, supporting teams that experiment with AI, and crucially, making sure both the digital infrastructure and the human talent are in place to facilitate that widespread adoption.
So laying the groundwork.
Precisely. Creating fertile ground for AI innovation and then making sure that innovation actually translates into practical utility within the business.
Got it. What's the second objective?
Second, the vision aims at becoming the place where AI thrives to market.
Thrives to market. Competitive advantage, then.
Absolutely. This speaks directly to competitive advantage and market leadership. From an organizational view, this translates to strategically positioning the company as a front-runner in AI solutions and services,
Okay.
not just in its immediate market, but potentially on a global scale. It demands creating high-quality, trustworthy AI products and services that really stand out.
Differentiate themselves.
Exactly. And that, in turn, attracts essential investment, top-tier talent, and most importantly, customers. It's about being recognized as the go-to entity for AI, ensuring the solutions are not just technically advanced, but also commercially viable
Yeah,
and desirable.
makes sense. What's number 3?
Third, and this is arguably the most crucial given current debates, is ensuring AI benefits citizens and society.
Ah, the ethical dimension.
Precisely. This pushes beyond purely economic or technical metrics to really embrace the ethical and human dimensions of AI. It's a commitment to ensuring AI serves a broader good, actively contributing to solving societal challenges, enhancing quality of life, and upholding fundamental human rights.
So for a company.
For a company, this means rigorously considering the well-being and impact on its customers, its employees, and the broader communities it serves. Building AI applications that are inherently fair, transparent, accountable, designed to augment human capabilities, not diminish them.
Right. That's where responsible AI really shows up.
It is. This is where that commitment becomes evident.
Okay, and the fourth objective.
Finally, the EU's vision emphasizes building strategic leadership in high-impact sectors.
High-impact sectors. targeting specific areas.
Yes, it involves deliberately identifying specific domains where AI can generate the most significant transformative impact. Think healthcare, sustainable energy, advanced manufacturing, intelligent transport,
Big areas.
big areas. And once identified, the strategy involves investing in and developing capabilities to become a global leader there. For a business, this means pinpointing sectors, product lines, or even internal functions where AI delivers the greatest competitive edge, drives efficiencies, unlocks new revenue, or solves critical problems.
So focusing the effort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Focused investment, concentrated innovation to maximize impact and secure that leadership position. Together, these four objectives form a really robust strategic blueprint for anyone wanting to harness AI effectively and responsibly.
That's a truly powerful framework. It really does lay out a path, not just for governments, but like you said, a guiding star for any entity using AI. And within that, there's this key concept, value alignment. This phrase pops up a lot in responsible AI discussions. Could you unpack what value alignment really means in this context, beyond just the textbook definition?
Yeah, it's a big one. Value alignment, as the source explains it, refers to the deliberate process.
Yeah.
Designing AI systems so they inherently, well, they behave in ways consistent with human values and ethical principles.
Inherently behave. So it's built in.
Built in, it's a profound shift from just asking, what can this AI do technically, to asking, what should this AI do? Does its behavior line up with our collective sense of right and wrong?
Right, the should.
Exactly. This means AI developers can't just focus on code. They have to meticulously consider the values of their specific user base who interacts with this. What are their expectations, their cultural norms, social contexts, and also the broader societal values, fairness, privacy, non-discrimination, autonomy, things like that.
So connecting it to the bigger picture.
It's about embedding a moral compass, basically, a set of guiding ethical principles right into the AI's core. It's proactive, it prevents AI from behaving in ways that undermine trust, cause unintended harm, or create societal friction as it gets more autonomous and integrated.
Preventing harm.
Ultimately, it aims to ensure AI's decisions reflect the best of human intentions rather than amplifying our flaws or biases.
So it really is about embedding our human values right into the code and the design.
That's the goal.
Our source gives us a great visual for this. Figure 1.13, Common Elements in Artificial Intelligence Value Alignment. It outlines 4 key pillars to achieve this. Could you walk us through those? Maybe highlight which ones organizations typically find the toughest?
Certainly. And yeah, these 4 pillars offer a truly holistic approach. It's a multifaceted challenge.
Okay. Pillar 1.
The first pillar is community. This emphasizes the critical importance of deriving practical AI solutions and continuously adapting strategies based on direct, ongoing feedback from the communities the AI will impact.
Continuous adaptation. That sounds hard.
It can be. It underscores the need for interdisciplinary collaboration, not just AI engineers, but ethicists, social scientists, legal scholars, cultural experts,
Right.
getting a well-rounded perspective.
Right, different viewpoints.
And crucially, it highlights considering cultural nuances. Like, if you're deploying an AI customer service bot globally, it has to understand and respect diverse communication styles, social cues, cultural norms.
Otherwise it fails.
Or worse, offends. It undermines trust. And I'd argue this is quite challenging. It requires moving beyond just technical metrics to deeply understand human interaction and societal norms, which are fluid and diverse.
Okay, makes sense. Pillar 2?
The second pillar focuses on ethical foundations. This delves into the theory, the philosophy behind AI. Grounding AI development in comprehensive philosophical studies, economic principles, ensuring the underlying principles are robust, morally sound, considering long-term societal impacts.
Deeper thinking.
Much deeper. It encourages considering how different countries and cultures influence ethical standards. Ethics aren't uniform, right?
No, definitely not.
So what constitutes fairness or privacy might differ. This pillar is also challenging because it requires abstract critical thinking that, frankly, many technical teams aren't typically trained for.
Yeah, I can see that. Pillar 3.
Third is legal compliance. This is perhaps more concrete, but absolutely crucial. Strictly adhering to country and regional laws, respecting fundamental human values enshrined in law.
The rules.
The rules. It specifically calls out ensuring AI systems don't produce or perpetuate discrimination, a huge pitfall. This is where abstract ethics meet concrete legal requirements. Think GDPR in Europe,
Right.
or various anti-discrimination laws impacting AI and hiring, credit, housing. Legal compliance ensures AI operates within established boundaries, mitigates legal risks, and fosters public trust.
But it's a moving target, you mentioned.
It is, especially now. AI regulations are evolving so rapidly, keeping up is a challenge in itself.
Okay. And the final pillar.
Finally, the fourth pillar is operational strategy. This is the practical implementation arm.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. Engaging stakeholders early in design and risk assessment. Incorporating diverse perspectives from the start, not as an afterthought.
Early engagement key.
Definitely. It demands continuous monitoring and verification of AI performance, not just for technical accuracy, but for ethical behavior, fairness throughout its whole life cycle.
Okay.
Plus, incorporating sustainability and humanity into KPIs. So success metrics aren't just profit or efficiency,
We touched on that.
but also positive social impact, environmental footprint, empowering workers rather than just displacing them. It's embedding ethical and legal considerations into daily operations and planning, making responsible AI core to the business.
That integration piece sounds complex, too.
It is. Integrating abstract values into concrete, measurable processes is tough.
It really sounds like value alignment isn't just a tech fix or like a one-time checkbox. It's a deeply ingrained, ongoing, multifaceted commitment. It touches every part of an organization.
That's exactly right. It's a significant undertaking.
Okay, so we've explored the broad strategies and those foundational principles. Now let's bring it down to a more concrete day-to-day level. Our deep dive takes us into the realm of an AI acceptable use policy, or AUP.
The AUP.
Most of us know AUPs for things like internet use or company equipment. But what specifically does an AUP entail when we're talking about AI?
Yeah, good question. An AI AUP is essentially a formal document, a set of rules and guidelines that clearly defines what is permitted and not permitted use of AI within an organization.
Permitted and not permitted, clear lines.
Exactly. It's truly critical because it sets boundaries and explicitly communicates expectations to everyone on staff who might interact with, develop, or deploy AI systems. Think of it like a playbook for responsible AI behavior.
A playbook, I like that.
Because without a well-defined AI AUP, employees, maybe unintentionally, could use AI in ways that introduce really serious risks.
Like what kind of risks?
Oh, data breaches from putting sensitive info into public AI models, amplifying biases from training data, causing reputational damage with inappropriate outputs, even infringing IP rights by using AI on copyrighted stuff without permission.
Wow, okay. Lots of potential pitfalls.
Definitely. A robust AUP acts proactively, mitigating these risks with clear guidance, ensuring accountability, and aligning AI use with the organization's broader ethical and strategic goals.
So it's about establishing very clear guardrails, preventing those accidental missteps.
Precisely.
Our source outlines 5 common practical steps for developing an effective AI AUP. What are the most crucial takeaways from each of these?
Right. Developing an effective AUP is definitely an iterative, collaborative process. The source gives us 5 fundamental steps. First, the AUP must be understandable and executable,
Understandable and executable.
meaning simplicity and clarity. Plain language, easily digestible by everyone, regardless of technical background. Avoid jargon or define it meticulously. No ambiguity, so employees aren't left guessing.
If it's too complex, people just ignore it.
Exactly. It won't be followed. It needs to be practical, implementable, day-to-day, almost intuitive.
Okay, step 2.
Second, there needs to be a confirmed scope and acceptable usage. This is about precise definition. Clearly stating the objectives, specific policies, the exact boundaries for AI use.
Defining the sandbox.
Kind of, yeah. Explicitly differentiating what's allowed and what's prohibited. For example, maybe specifying employees can use certain internal AI tools for specific tasks, but are strictly prohibited from putting sensitive customer data into public, unverified large language models.
That's a key distinction.
Crucial. That clarity prevents misuse and ensures AI is applied appropriately, protecting the organization and its data.
Got it. Third step.
Third, organizations should leverage existing IT and information security policies.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The insight here is efficiency and integration. Build upon established IT and security controls and policies, data handling, access controls, incident response.
Issues they already have.
Right. Then carefully adapt and extend them to address the unique requirements and risk specific to AI. This ensures continuity, avoids redundant effort, and integrates AI governance seamlessly into the broader security posture.
Adapting, not starting from scratch.
Correct. Asking,
Yeah.
how do our current data rules apply when AI is involved, and what specific AI tweaks do we need?
Okay. Fourth.
Fourth, it's crucial to adopt a governance framework. The takeaway here is accountability and sustainability.
Governance for the policy itself.
Yes. Clearly defining ownership, oversight, transparent processes for the AUP. Who is responsible for creating it, maintaining it, enforcing it? How are decisions made on updates, exceptions, violations?
Right. Who owns it?
A robust governance framework ensures clear accountability, regular reviews to keep pace with AI evolution, and that everyone understands their roles. It gives the policy structure and authority over time, stops it becoming a dusty document.
Makes sense. And the last step.
Finally, organizations must prepare for internal and external communication, the core message, widespread awareness and trust.
Communication is key.
Absolutely. Once the AUP is drafted, reviewed, approved, it needs wide, effective communication. Comprehensive internal comms to all staff, ensuring they don't just know about it, but deeply understand its implications for their work.
And external.
Beyond internal teams, consider privacy implications and transparency for external stakeholders, customers, especially if AI directly impacts them. A good communication plan might include mandatory training, accessible policy docs, clear public guidelines on how external data is handled by AI.
Building trust internally and externally.
Precisely. Effective communication ensures awareness, promotes compliance, and actively builds that trust.
That sounds like an AUP isn't just a static set of rules you print out and forget. It's a living, breathing document. Needs careful thought, constant communication, ongoing adaptation.
Exactly. It's a really strategic tool for managing AI adoption responsibly.
Okay. Building on AUPs, we now look at AI policy development. How do these broader policies differ from an AUP, and what's their overarching role in an organization's AI landscape?
That's a great distinction to make. While an AUP focuses on the do's and don'ts for individual users, AI policies, while they're more like general corporate policies, they establish comprehensive, high-level guidelines and general rules.
Setting the strategic direction.
Exactly. They set the overarching strategic direction for the entire AI program. They're foundational documents, crucial for consistent decision-making, ensuring uniformity across the whole organization for all AI activities.
So the big picture rules.
Right. An AI policy specifically defines the strategic scope, the broad objectives, the overall work plan for the entire AI initiative. It makes sure all AI development, deployment operations align with the organization's broader strategy, its core ethical values, its risk appetite.
The high-level blueprint.
That's a perfect way to put it. The blueprint that guides every subsequent AI endeavor, setting the principles for how AI strategically contributes to the mission and vision.
That makes perfect sense, the blueprint, not just the user manual. Our source provides another fantastic visual, Figure 1.15, Artificial Intelligence Policy Considerations, highlighting 7 critical areas for effective AI policy development. Which of these, in your view, are the absolute non-negotiables for an organization to get right?
That's a tough question because, honestly, all 7 are vital for a policy that doesn't just guide tech, but fosters a real culture of responsible AI.
Okay, but if you had to pick.
If I had to pick the absolute non-negotiables, I'd say senior management support, strategic alignment, and periodic review.
Okay, let's dig into those. Senior management support first.
Absolutely paramount, a foundational non-negotiable. Without clear leadership buy-in and active participation from the very top, any AI policy, no matter how well written, will struggle to get traction.
Why is it so critical?
Senior management provides the necessary definition, strategic direction, resources. Their explicit commitment signals to everyone that AI governance is a strategic priority, not just an IT or legal thing. They champion it. Without them, it risks being ignored or sidestepped.
Got it. Essential buy-in. Second, non-negotiable. Strategic alignment.
Equally non-negotiable. The AI policy must be intrinsically aligned with the overall enterprise strategy. AI initiatives should directly support business objectives, competitive advantages, not operate in some isolated silo.
Makes sense.
Plus, the policy needs to proactively account for regulatory and compliance concerns, adhering to laws, industry standards, internal risk frameworks. It's about ensuring AI genuinely enhances business goals without creating unforeseen legal or operational problems. An AI policy that isn't strategically aligned, it's just wasted effort.
Right. It has to serve the business.
Yeah.
And the third non-negotiable was periodic review.
Yes, periodic review. This is another absolute must. Given how incredibly fast AI technology is evolving, And the constantly shifting regulatory landscape.
It changes constantly.
Constantly. The policy has to be reviewed regularly, maybe monthly, annually, biannually, to ensure it remains relevant, effective, responsive to new developments. This proactive approach keeps the policy up to date, addressing emerging risks and opportunities, reflecting changes in tech, strategy, or external rules. An outdated policy is almost as dangerous as no policy at all.
Okay, so those are the top 3 non-negotiables, but the other 4 are still important.
Oh, absolutely vital. Clarity and consistency. The policy must be unambiguous, applied consistently. Feedback and consensus involving key stakeholders during development for buy-in and practicality. Communication and training, making sure everyone knows the policy and their rules. And compliance, continuously monitoring that the policy is actually being followed. They all work together.
That list makes it crystal clear that developing an AI policy is a comprehensive, ongoing process, not a one-and-done task. Truly strategic.
It really is.
What about the actual components, like the sections within an AI policy document itself? What should an organization expect to see?
Good question. Section 1.8.1 in our source outlines the standard components, the building blocks that give the policy structure and clarity.
Okay, what are they?
First, usually an introduction. This sets the stage, explains the organization's why for having an AI policy, how it aligns with corporate strategy, vision, values, sets the tone.
Got it. Next.
A glossary. Absolutely essential. AI is full of specialized, complex terms. A glossary ensures everyone understands the terms used, avoids confusion from jargon, fosters a common language.
Crucial for clarity. Then the purpose section, this is the heart of it, details the core principles, best practices, guidelines, objectives, methodologies the policy aims to achieve. The why behind it.
The core goals. Exactly. The source gives a great example. Establishing guidelines for responsible, transparent, safe, ethical AI use. Ensuring AI solutions provide measurable value, comply with standards, promote safety, grounds the principles in concrete goals.
Well, okay, what else?
Next is the scope of the application of the policy. This defines precisely who, what, and where the policy applies, which departments, business groups, roles, which AI systems, data types, no ambiguity about its reach.
Defines the boundaries clearly.
Yes. And finally, there's a component covering examples of the group, name of the entity, as well as any third-party AI solutions.
Third-party solutions, why is that important?
Hugely important. It clarifies the policy applies not just to employees and internal systems, but explicitly extends to any third-party AI tools, platforms, services the organization uses or integrates.
Because companies use external tools a lot.
They do. This emphasizes that responsibility and adherence extend beyond internal development. It ensures oversight over all AI touchpoints, mitigating risks from third parties, ensuring a consistent standard of governance.
It truly sounds like a well-crafted AI policy isn't just a regulatory hurdle, but a dynamic, foundational document. Crucial for ensuring AI is developed and used strategically, safely, ethically, across the entire organization, including those external services.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we've moved from the strategic vision through the high-level policies, and now we arrive at the operational detail. AI procedures and manuals. This is where the rubber truly meets the road, isn't it? Where the abstract becomes concrete actions.
Precisely. Procedures and manuals, often in the form of standard operating procedures or SOPs, they are the practical, step-by-step guides for how AI strategies and policies are actually implemented day to day.
Like instructions.
Exactly. They're common, essential tools in cybersecurity IT ops, providing repeatable, consistent processes for critical tasks. And they're equally vital for robust AI governance.
Why, especially for AI?
Because AI solutions, by their nature, involve processing vast amounts of data, collecting it, prepping it, analyzing it, using it. So these procedures must meticulously detail how that data is handled, especially aspects that could influence the AI's output, its decision-making, or its ethical behavior.
Like what specifically?
Well, an AI SOP might outline precise steps for data anonymization, or the process for getting explicit consent for personal data used in training, or strict protocols for data integrity checks to prevent introducing bias. They translate the high-level what and why of policies into the concrete, actionable how.
Got it. Translating policy into practice. Now, our source emphasizes that security teams, when developing these procedures, need to ensure that ethical and human rights considerations are genuinely baked in.
That's key.
That's a powerful point, going far beyond just technical security. How challenging is it to integrate those considerations into what are often very technical documents?
It is indeed challenging, but absolutely essential. It underscores the need for that truly holistic approach to AI governance we've been talking about.
Holistic, right.
It emphasizes that security in AI isn't just about protecting against hacks or system bugs. It's also about ensuring the AI's internal processes and outputs consistently uphold human values and respect human rights.
So the SOPs have to cover more ground.
Much more. They need to encompass all enterprise uses of AI, from initial design and data sourcing, through development and training, to deployment and ongoing monitoring. This requires explicitly aligning these operational procedures with the broader AI, AUP, and the core principles of responsible AI, or RAI.
Connecting back to the AUP and RAI.
Exactly. For instance, if an AUP prohibits biased outcomes, the SOPs must detail how bias detection tools are integrated into the development pipeline, how training data is vetted for representativeness, how model outputs are regularly audited for fairness. They are the practical manifestation of those high-level commitments.
Making those principles real at every step.
That's the idea, ensuring they're enacted at every touchpoint.
Okay, to bring this all together, our source presents a truly fascinating tool. The Responsible Artificial Intelligence Maturity Matrix in Figure 1.17.
Ah, yes, the maturity matrix. Very useful.
It sounds like a great way for organizations to assess where they stand on this journey. Could you walk us through the different levels of this matrix?
Absolutely. This matrix is a fantastic framework for organizations to understand and visualize their progression towards mature, responsible AI governance. It describes 5 distinct levels, showing a journey from sort of basic awareness to proactive leadership in responsible AI.
5 levels. Let's start at the bottom.
Okay, the first level is baseline. At this initial stage, an organization frankly, little understanding of responsible AI, RAI.
Little understanding, so barely on the radar.
Pretty much. RAI concepts are largely unacknowledged or unprioritized. Very few, if any, AI risks are formally documented or systematically assessed.
Yeah.
Critically, there's typically no formal training for employees on RAI principles. The focus is mainly on basic data and privacy, but without a comprehensive AI risk management framework addressing bias, transparency, accountability specifically.
So very reactive.
Entirely reactive, an ad hoc approach where AI risks are dealt with only when they blow up, not managed proactively.
Okay, level 2.
Moving up, we have emerging. Here, the organization begins to have an understanding of RAI. This marks a significant shift from ignorance to growing awareness.
Starting to get it.
Right. Initial risk assessments are starting. Performance risk assessments evaluating how models perform and the risks with accuracy are starting to be included. It's still largely reactive, but there's growing awareness, a tentative step towards formalizing AI risk management. They might be identifying some major ethical pitfalls, but often lack comprehensive strategies.
Progress, but still reactive. What's level 3?
The third level is developing. This signifies a good understanding of RAI across the organization. Awareness has spread beyond just a small group.
Okay, broader understanding.
Yes, accountability for AI is being actively considered and assigned clearer sense of who's responsible. Regular, more systematic risk assessments and controls are implemented across various AI initiatives, moving towards being more proactive.
Getting proactive now.
And processes for emerging risk accountability are beginning to be implemented, starting to anticipate and prepare for new, unforeseen risks from evolving AI tech. This is where an organization starts to embed RAI more consistently into its operational fabric.
Okay. Level 4 sounds significant.
Level 4 is realizing. This stage indicates a thorough understanding of RAI, complemented by widespread employee education and training.
Thorough understanding plus training.
Key principles like fairness, privacy, security, accuracy, oversight, transparency, they're consistently and deeply considered throughout the entire AI lifecycle: design, deployment, maintenance.
Really integrated.
Very. The organization actively seeks multi-stakeholder feedback, engaging users, civil society, academics. Crucially, it incorporates diverse human expertise, not just technical, ensuring broader perspective on ethical and societal impacts. This level signifies a mature, truly integrated approach. RAI is part of the organizational DNA.
Wow. And the final level?
Finally, the highest level is leading. A deep understanding of RAI, deeply ingrained in the culture.
Deep understanding. What does that look like?
AI solutions are proactively designed for human benefit from inception. Ethical considerations, positive societal impact are primary design goals, not afterthoughts.
Designed for good from the start.
Exactly. AI models are continuously, rigorously monitored for performance and bias. Proactive risk assessments are standard, ingrained practice, often using advanced tools. Organizations here aren't just compliant, they're actively shaping the future of responsible AI, setting benchmarks, often contributing to new ethical frameworks.
They're setting the standard.
They are, seen as innovators and trusted leaders in responsible AI, often influencing the broader
Oh,
industry.
that's a remarkably clear progression. It truly shows that getting AI governance right isn't a quick fix or like a switch you flip. It's a comprehensive journey of continuous improvement and deep integration.
Absolutely.
What specifically stands out to you from this matrix? Maybe a subtle nuance that often gets overlooked.
What's particularly striking to me is how clearly it connects the technical implementation to the broader organizational culture and values.
Culture and values, yeah.
It emphasizes that true maturity isn't just about having a checklist of policies or deploying a few tools. It's about embedding responsible AI into the very fabric of how AI is developed and used, with ongoing learning, adaptation, and a deep shared commitment across all levels.
A cultural shift.
It's a journey demanding continuous introspection, adjustment, moving beyond mere compliance to genuine cultural transformation. And this raises an important question for you, our listener. Where do you think your own organization, or maybe one you know well, might realistically fall on this spectrum right now? And perhaps more importantly, what might be the single most impactful next step for them to move up?
That's a great practical question for our listeners. And it brings us seamlessly to our final section for Chapter 1, Part B, Ethical Considerations.
The big one.
This is perhaps the most talked about aspect of AI, and for very good reason. What's the core message the manual conveys about the role of ethics in AI?
The source really powerfully emphasizes that ethical considerations aren't just an add-on or an afterthought. They are at the very heart of AI development and use.
At the heart.
Yeah. AI is presented as a research discipline that directly influences how AI solutions are created and deployed across society. Therefore, the core values that must guide this discipline are integrity, actively promoting social good, and rigorously minimizing harm.
Integrity, social good, minimize harm.
It means AI solutions should never be designed to cause harm intentionally or unintentionally, or to operate unethically, even if it's technically possible. Connecting this to the bigger picture, it's profoundly about building and maintaining public trust in AI.
Trust is key.
Paramount for long-term societal acceptance, widespread adoption, ultimate utility. Without that trust, AI, no matter how advanced, will face huge barriers. Ethical design isn't just nice to have, it's foundational for building and sustaining that trust.
So it's not a post-deployment audit, but something woven in from the absolute beginning of the design process, with all stakeholders involved.
Exactly, from the very start.
The source also highlights the critical need for disclosure. Disclosing an AI's ethical impact assessment, or EIA results, and other risk assessment findings. Why is transparency so crucial here, particularly for the ethical aspects?
Transparency is absolutely crucial. It directly fosters both accountability and trust.
Accountability and trust, how?
Well, when the ethical implications and potential risks of an AI system are openly, systematically assessed, and when those findings, like EIA results and risk assessments, are publicly disclosed, it allows for critical scrutiny by a much broader audience.
Our eyes on it.
Internal teams, external regulators, actual users, the general public. This open assessment and disclosure helps build confidence. It shows the organization isn't trying to hide potential harms, but is actively identifying, evaluating, and addressing them proactively.
Being upfront about the risks.
Exactly. It reflects a profound commitment to responsible AI development. Potential negative impacts aren't swept under the rug, they're acknowledged and mitigated. In essence, transparency signals integrity and a willingness to be held responsible. It builds that bridge of trust.
Right.
But this naturally raises an important, tricky question many organizations grapple with.
Which is?
How much transparency is truly enough to build that trust without inadvertently revealing proprietary information or creating security vulnerabilities that could be exploited? It's a delicate, continuous balancing act.
That is a really complex balance. And one of the most prominent ethical concerns in AI is bias and fairness. We hear a lot about it, but what exactly do we mean by AI bias, and why is it such a pervasive and significant challenge?
Right. AI bias refers to systematic, repeatable errors in an AI system's output that consistently create unfair or unintended harmful effects, especially when those effects disproportionately impact certain groups of people.
Systematic errors causing unfairness.
Yes. And it's such a challenge because AI systems learn from data. If that data reflects existing societal biases, historical discrimination, or just incomplete representations,
Mm.
the AI will inevitably learn and perpetuate those biases, often at massive scale and sometimes more efficiently than humans do. Learning our biases.
Unfortunately, yes. Our source, citing another publication, categorizes AI bias into three main types, which helps clarify its varied origins.
Okay, three types. What's the first?
First, there's systems bias. This arises directly from the AI models themselves, especially large language models, LLMs, or from inherent design choices in the AI's architecture. It's often baked into the algorithm's core structure, regardless of the initial data.
Baked into the model itself.
Yeah. The source notes that Stark 2015 study on facial recognition.
Oh, I remember reading about that. A mere 0.8% error rate for white men, but a dramatically higher 34.7% error rate for black women. That disparity is a direct result of how the AI was trained, likely with unrepresentative data, fewer images of black women, or a design that struggled with diverse skin tones. It's systemic to the AI's design.
Wow, that's a huge difference. Okay, second type.
Second, we have statistical computational bias. This stems from errors or limitations in the stats, the computations, or critically, how data is represented and processed within the AI.
Errors in the math or data handling.
Right. It can happen if the training data isn't truly representative of the real-world population the AI is meant for, or if the algorithms inadvertently amplify existing biases during computation. For instance, if a demographic is severely underrepresented in the data, the model might make less accurate or unfair decisions for that group simply due to insufficient or skewed data. Even if the data itself isn't overtly biased socially, it's a technical manifestation of data limits.
Okay, and the third type.
Third, and maybe the most pervasive, is social human bias. Bias directly introduced by humans or society, often unintentionally, into the data or the problem definition itself.
Humans introducing the bias. How?
Could be biased data collection practices systematically excluding or undersampling certain groups, or subjective human labeling of data where annotators unknowingly inject their own biases. Or it could be embedded in the societal assumptions framing the problem.
Like historical data.
Exactly, like training an AI on historical hiring data where certain demographics were disproportionately overlooked by human recruiters in the past. The AI might learn and perpetuate that historical bias, automatically overlooking qualified people from those same groups. This type really highlights that AI is a powerful mirror, reflecting the data we feed it and the human choices shaping it.
Those examples really drive home the point that bias isn't just abstract. It has very real-world, often discriminatory consequences.
It absolutely does.
What practical tools or approaches does our source suggest for addressing this critical issue of bias during development?
The source highlights two key open-source tools that are proving invaluable for developers in proactively identifying and mitigating AI bias. It emphasizes a practical, hands-on approach.
Okay, tools developers can use. What are they?
First, there's the AI fairness test. This is described as a toolkit specifically designed to help developers identify and assess AI bias within their models.
A testing toolkit for fairness.
Right. It provides concrete methods for evaluating fairness across different demographic or sensitive groups, comparing model performance for different genders, races, ages, etc. It gives metrics, visualizations, allowing developers to pinpoint where models might be unfair.
Finding the problems.
And crucially, it helps them explore strategies or adjustments to algorithms or data to reduce disparities and promote more equitable outcomes. It moves from just acknowledging bias to providing actionable insights for mitigation.
Actionable insights. Good. What's the second tool?
Second, the What If tool, developed by Google. This is an interactive application designed to help developers and even non-developers debug and understand machine learning models more intuitively.
Interactive understanding. How does that work?
It lets them understand model performance, test various what-if scenarios, and uncover issues related to fairness and ethics by visualizing how small changes to input data affect the output.
Like tweaking the input.
Exactly. You could input a hypothetical user profile, see the prediction, then just change one attribute like gender or zip code and immediately see if the prediction changes unfairly or inconsistently. This interactive exploration makes it much easier to identify and diagnose bias, enabling developers to iteratively refine models to be more fair, robust, transparent.
So you can really probe the model's behavior.
Precisely. These tools are crucial because they empower developers to proactively build fairness into AI systems from the ground up, not treating bias as something to fix after deployment, after potential harm has occurred.
Shifting left on fairness.
Exactly, supporting a more transparent and accountable AI development lifecycle. So, thinking about this, given how complex identifying and mitigating bias really is, especially the statistical and social biases that are often hidden, what role do you think policy and regulation should play alongside these technical tools in ensuring AI systems are truly fair? What's the right balance there?
That's a profound question, and one that resonates deeply across the industry right now. And with that thought, we've brought our deep dive into Chapter 1, Part B, the ISECO AISM Review Manual, to a close.
We covered a lot of ground.
Really did. We've systematically unpacked the critical components of AI-related strategies, policies, procedures, from that grand vision of AI excellence and the nuanced concept of value alignment
Hmm.
to the practicalities of acceptable use policies, comprehensive policy development, the operational precision of procedures, and then culminating with the absolutely crucial topic of ethical considerations and the pervasive challenges of bias.
We've truly seen today how essential it is for organizations to move beyond just developing AI to truly mastering its governance.
Governance is key.
It requires clear, forward-looking strategies aligning AI with goals and societal benefit. It demands well-defined policies setting ethical and operational boundaries, needs practical procedures translating policies into action, and above all, a deep, unwavering commitment to ethical principles, especially fairness and bias, ensuring AI serves us all effectively, responsibly, building trust along the way.
For you, our listener, we genuinely hope this deep dive has offered a clearer roadmap for navigating the complex world of AI governance.
Hmm.
Our goal wasn't just to present info, but to help you connect the dots. See how these foundational elements impact the real world of AI applications, from the data it uses to the critical decisions it helps make.
And as you continue your own learning journey, maybe consider this provocative thought. In an increasingly AI-driven world, how might an organization's proactive and transparent approach to AI governance, especially its commitment to ethics and rigorous bias mitigation, become its most significant competitive differentiator?
A differentiator.
Interesting.
You-
Think about how that commitment could attract top talent, earn customer loyalty, secure vital investment, setting it apart from those lagging behind. And beyond organizations, what responsibilities do you believe individuals, including yourself, have in promoting ethical AI use and challenging its potential harms in their daily lives?
Food for thought indeed. Join us next time for another deep dive, where we'll continue to unravel complex topics and provide you with those essential nuggets of knowledge.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, keep digging.